Hello and welcome to BK Prime. I'm Hiral Daria. Overall, if you see in terms of where markets are concerned, we have given up those gains from the day's highest levels of 17,748, and we are nearly nearing the day's lows, but still trading in the positive. To decode as to what's in store from here on, joining us on the show, we have Kunal Rambhia joining in. Kunal, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Very good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Kunal, my first question coming to you is overall, if you see, yes, the positive momentum has continued in terms of markets over the last couple of trading sessions. However, we are not able to sustain at higher levels. We are clearly seeing pressure that's coming in. Is it something where, markets are witnessing a fatigue in the rally and traders are actually waiting for a shorting opportunity?
If I look at the Nifty's futures chart, so yes, we saw a decisive rally right from the extreme low levels, and the indices are up by almost around 900 points. But as you rightly said, we are nearing the resistance zone, and the observation here is that on the 6th March to 9th March, Nifty made a high of around 17,800, 820. And right now we are trading near to that 17,800 mark itself. So yes, from here on, traders may think of booking their longs because the rally is really fast and the gains are really good on the large caps. But at the same time, we'll have to just see whether the momentum fizzles out. And if yes, this can be the fantastic shorting opportunity from here on.
Right. So overall, if you see in terms of, the PCR OI, what is that indicating, and what should be the support and resistance levels we should be watching out for on Nifty?
So on Nifty, if you look at the PCR ratio, so far it's been bullish. And we can see the maximum open interest near to 17,800 to 17,900 call options, which confirms that yes, there is an excess selling pressure near to these levels, which may build up going forward. But if you look at the momentum, it's still positive. And on the charts front, if you look at the price momentum, yes, it's near to the resistance. So from here on, as we just discussed, the immediate resistance level on the Nifty futures is going to be 17,825 to 17,500. 850 kind of levels. That's going to be a bandwidth of around 25
Hmm.
points as a resistance. And on the support front, we have 17,700 to watch out for, which is today's low. If Nifty decisively breaks 17,700 on the lower side, I think this entire rally, which we saw of 1,000 points upward, may just come down by at least 300 to 350 points.
Right. If you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, clearly everyone was watching out for that. If Bank Nifty is able to close above 41,200, then probably we could see an upside to continue. And that's what seems to be the scenario in today's session, because we've opened at around 41,230, hit a high of around 41,380, and we're still above that 41,200 mark. If we close above 41,200, what's the kind of upside we should be watching out for?
So if I look at the Bank Nifty spot levels, then yes, we are nearing that. We are closing above actually 41,200. But
Hmm.
if I make a trend line right from the peak of around December 2022 so far, it has still not given the breakout, and that breakout zone on the spot Bank Nifty is around 41,400 mark. That's as per
Hmm.
my studies, it's 41,400. So if it crosses this 41,400 decisively and stays above that, then I think 42,300 kind of marks are something to watch out for as the target. But looking at the momentum, I really doubt on the breakout so far.
Right. One stock that has been supporting is a Kotak Mahindra Bank in today's session. Overall, what are charts and what is the derivative data indicating from a Kotak Mahindra Bank?
So again, if you look at the behavior, today's open, high, low, and close, if we try to watch out for, then the opening was around 1847, and right now it's trading right near to 1847. High was made, the low was made, and the opening
Hmm.
and closing are same. So in technical terms, we call it as doji formation. This doji formation is indecisiveness on the charts. Now, from here on, we need to check out the day's high and the day's low. That's 1860 on the higher side and 1825 on the lower side. Whichever side it gives a trigger, I think that's going to be the rally. And if you look at the open interest data, the same two strike prices are showing extreme open interest. So yes, the decisive rally may emerge. I mean, on the breakout or the breakdown, we'll have to just wait for a couple of more days.
Right. Apart from that, in terms of a few other names from the financial space, you have a Manappuram Finance that also is seeing some bit of bullish trends. What should the strategy be?
Again, it gave a very decisive breakout just 3 days back. The first breakout level was 125, and today in today's session, it made a high of 133.40. It was very bullish formation till 12:30, 1 o'clock, and now you can see it's right near to the day's low. So that massive gap up and continuation is actually fizzled out. Now we call this in technical terms as bullish trap. Now we'll have to see whether it crosses that level. Otherwise, a decline till at least 122 on cards to watch out for, and then we'll have to revisit again.
Right. Apart from that, how are you seeing a Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, as well as a India Bulls Housing Finance? Because all these three counters have also been in the limelight in today's session.
Absolutely. In fact, I really shortlisted Bank of Baroda for buying, initiating a buy. And the reason for that was since January 2023, this counter wasn't able to cross 173, 174 mark decisively. Today, in today's session, it gap up open. So till morning, it was looking like it may just cross out that level, but again fizzled out. So we'll have to wait for 174 as a breakout on Bank of Baroda. If it crosses, it's gonna be a new rally from here on. But till then, we'll have to just wait for the clarity. If I look at Canada Bank, again, just like other PSU banks, this was in
Hmm.
sideways consolidation, but the breakout is still pending. The breakout level is 295 to watch out for.
Right. Overall, if you see an ONGC as well, again, we are seeing some long positions that continue to be built up on an ONGC. Though the volumes are lower, what should the strategy be with an ONGC?
See, ONGC has been a very consistent performer. In fact, since September 2022, it's decisively making higher top, higher bottoms. So, yes,
Hmm.
in today's session, also the data are supporting bullishness. Volume, as you rightly highlighted, is missing out actually. But that's common in case of derivative counters. Generally, the volumes are seen right near to the low. So, it can be labeled as a buy on dip counter. 159, good level to initiate the buy. By any chance, if it comes down to 155, I think that would be an attractive entry for the positional traders. The stop loss on this counter can be 145, and we can see the levels of 170 to 175 soon.
Right. Apart from an ONGC, another stock that comes to my radar is a IEX. In fact, I mean, the trends in terms of IEX have been strong over the last couple of trading sessions. Are you expecting the momentum to continue, and do you see good entry levels?
To be very honest, I was one of the guys who actually shorted this counter near to 135 mark. The
Mm.
reason being there was a massive decline. But the way the reversal has happened on this counter, these stops are triggered out completely. It was a bearish trap right near to the low, and now it's closing near to those 3 to 4 months consolidation high. So yes, it's a wonderful buying opportunity. One can initiate a buy. Stop loss now on this counter is going to be 145. I think this counter may show us 175 mark in next 10 to 15 days.
Right. Another stock is a ITC because after hitting life high levels, the stock has continued the upward momentum. Are we seeing further upside, or do you think there could be some bit of resistance that could start creeping in for this name?
So far on the chart, there is no resistance. In fact, it has started moving after a long time.
Hmm.
The previous high was actually in July 2017. That was of around 370 mark. This counter gave a decisive breakout of 370 on 30th of Jan 2023. And since then, it's just remained above that. So I personally feel it's going to be a new rally from here on. One can initiate a buy. The stop loss is going to be 365. Keep accumulating this counter. I think on the higher side, we may see 430, 435 marks.
Right. Overall, Kunal, we are seeing shorts that are being built on a Delta Core, Infosys, for that matter, a Tata Motors as well, and a Wipro, specifically the IT names. What should the strategy be? Because you have the numbers that will start crippling in as well.
Exactly. So first, if I talk about Delta Corp, it's a perfect shorting counter, being perfectly, consistently making lower tops and lower bottoms. In today's session, also, it's down by around 3%. So if someone wants to go on a short side with a short-term mindset, then yes, initiating a short at the present level would make sense. The stop loss will be 197, and I think the counter can come down to again 180s to 175 levels. But now, if I talk about IT counters as such, we are heading for the TCS result tomorrow itself. And these all IT counters have been sideways and laggard. I will not really be keen to take up the positions in IT. Reason being, there is no trend actually on the counters. So we'll wait for some clarity and then we may revisit again.
Right. Overall, we have seen some bit of short covering in SBI and ICICI Bank, as well as the JSW Steel as well in today's session. Is it a positive sign, and is there a signal that these stocks are bottoming out now?
I really doubt again. Reason being the SBI. If you look at the open and close, the today's
Hmm.
opening was 531, and right now it's trading at 532. So it's not really a sign of the short covering kind of. Even the data are not suggesting the same. We'll have to see whether SBI sustains above 530 decisively. It's actually struggling to remain at these levels since last 3 days. So it may not be a perfect shortlisting counter for going long. But
Hmm.
as far as ICICI is concerned, yes, I'm watching out for the breakout of around 890. Above 890, I think the counter may show us the levels of 925. But so far, I really don't see any signs of short covering on these counters.
Hmm.
Yes, they have been in higher top, higher bottom, but the short covering is still missing.
Right. In the auto space, Kunal, what do you make of a Eicher Motors as well as a Bajaj or Auto? Because both of these counters, the option volumes is almost around 1.7 to 2 times. And clearly, the stocks are up in trade. Volumes are also not bad.
I'm very bullish on Eicher Motor. The only reason being on the daily chart, you can see a perfect inverse head and shoulder right near to the low of the chart. And the breakout on this counter can be labeled as, say, 3070. Presently, it's
Hmm.
trading at 3060. For this counter to jump up by 10 points is not difficult, but we'll wait for the breakout of 3070. I think this counter may show us the levels of 3300. Now, if I come to Bajaj Auto, it's been amazingly performing in today's session. The massive consolidation of last 3 years has been taken out, and the breakout of this chart was at around 4090. Right now it's trading at 4180. It's positional by perfect inverse head and shoulder right near to the top. I think this counter may show us 4600. Now this is a positional trade, so a short term trader should avoid it, but yes, you can definitely accumulate on decline.
Right. And very lastly, how are you seeing a Jubilant Food? Are you seeing a great opportunity from a long-term perspective with the kind of correction that we've already seen on this counter?
So, Hiral, if I look at the chart again, it's been a massive down perform. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
downtrend counter and massively underperforming the whole market. The only ray of hope on this counter is now 418 to 420. It's already at 422. If it holds on to these levels, then the sideways consolidation may come in. But I will not be really keen to accumulate near to the lows because the momentum is actually the negative momentum. So we'll wait whether it consolidates near to 420 mark, and if yes, we'll revisit the counter. But I would really, advise all our viewers not to actually try to catch this falling knife as of now.
Right. And apart from this, Kunal, any other recommendations that you have from a tomorrow's day perspective that one should be looking at once markets open?
So I have shortlisted one counter, and that's National Aluminium. In
Hmm.
today's session, you can see it's trading near to the high of the day, and it closed near to the high of the day. So I think this counter can be accumulated. The stop loss can be 79.50, and the targets on this counter can be 83.5 to 84. Now this is a very slow moving counter, so one needs to hold on the position for a week. I think risk reward ratio on this counter is really favorable. One can think of accumulating this.
Right. So a lot of names that we've discussed, a lot of positive trends, a lot of negative trends that are emerging. Thank you, Kunal, so much for joining us on the show and
Pleasure.
giving our viewers, key ideas and insights as to what should be done. But overall, if you see in terms of markets, clearly a good day of trade that we witnessed. There is consolidation that is happening as well. There is pressure coming in at higher levels, but this is the seventh consecutive session of gains that we have been witnessing. It's the IT sector which is the top loser in today's session, while the PSU bank sector is the top gainer, with Kotak Bank rising almost 5% in trade today. Overall, in the intraday session as well, after the gap up opening that we've seen, Nifty managed to trade above those 17,700 levels, and it's made a day's high of 17,748 in today's session. Overall, if you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, there are some good momentum and that there's some good momentum that's being picked up. So overall, a good day of trade. The breadth pretty much in favor of the bulls. The WIX is a key monitorable as well, and clearly investors are using a buy on dip strategy. A lot of stock specific action that we witnessed in today's session, and IT will continue to remain in focus with TCS reporting its numbers in tomorrow's session. That's all that we have. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.